Hello, everyone. I don't think you can see me, but this is Rick Farron here at the Six Screens Telenetwork. And we're trying to get into the Zoom meeting up in Ramapo, New York tonight. They do have a meeting up there tonight. We're trying to get in. I am scheduled to speak tonight on the mega complex, the media complex, the building in Ramapo. So just trying to get into the into the Zoom meeting tonight. So stand by. We'll see if we can't get in there. We might have some issues with microphones and what have you, because Zoom won't let me share my screen. But what we'll do is we'll record it all anyway. So if for some reason we have to abort the meeting because of sound issues, I'll put it up tomorrow on YouTube or Facebook, and you can hear what went on in the meeting. But we're going to try. Well, we'll give it an honest shot anyway. So we'll see what happens.
I can't hear you. It's not coming through.
Not coming through. Okay.
Do
Okay.
I have to do anything besides put on YouTube?
Well, let's see what's going on here. Why
I'm
can't
just telling you.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. You can't hear. You can't hear me. Okay. Okay.
I'll go back and see.
Okay. One, two, three, testing. Can you hear now? You can't hear? One, two, three, testing. Friends, we're trying to get into the Zoom meeting up in Ramapo, New York. We're just waiting for the moderator to set things up.
I can hear Ramapo, but I can't hear you.
You can hear Ramapo, but you can't hear
I
me.
can hear the background noise, but I can't hear you.
Okay. Well, I'm not talking right now, but
Here,
you can't hear me, huh? Well, hold on just a second. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm not talking right now, but it's a delay. That's why. Okay, you can hear me. It's on. It's just a delay. That's all. Well, just stay with us here, friends. We're trying to get into the Zoom meeting up in Ramapo, New York. They do have a hearing tonight on the Watchtower, so we'll do our best to get in. Just waiting now to get in. I'm not sure why it's not getting me in, but we'll see. Just give us a few seconds here. We'll be able to get in. I'm just not sure. Usually it starts at 7 o'clock, but I want to come in. They're going to let me evidently speak up and talk. I know you can't see me. You're looking at the Zoom screen. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get when they do come into the meeting, I'm trying to get the screen up so you guys will be able to see the meeting tonight. So just bear with us. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we can't get in there. So looking forward to it. So, yeah, they're building a big mega media center up in Ramapo, New York. And this is one of the hearings they're having. It's a public hearing for people to come in and to be able to voice their concerns on the Watchtower complex they're putting up. It's going to be a mega big building where they're going to be producing videos for the Watchtower. So we're just waiting now to be able to come in here. Why we're not coming in yet, I don't know. Open click box. Okay, this meeting, John Clay. All right, we'll see what's happening here. Well, for some reason, they're not bringing me in. Now, that could be kind of unusual. I did sign up ahead of time, so this is not right. The meeting, I think, has started. I'm not sure. I'm going to check on my other computer here and see. See if I can't do this. Unless they're running late, they could be running late. So we'll see. We'll see. Trying to get in, they could be running late. So we'll see if we can't get in here. Well, we're live here on YouTube and Facebook. You'll have to just bear with us. We're trying to get into the Zoom meeting being held up in Ramapo, New York. They do have a hearing tonight on the Watchtower Mega Center. For some reason, we're not able to get in. We did sign up ahead of time. They know who I am. They could be blocking me. I do think that's what's going on here. We'll just have to see what's happening. Just give it some time. Maybe they're running late. Why we're not getting into the meeting is beyond me. I signed up ahead of time. We are supposed to get in there, but we're not. They're not letting us get in. So I did put down, they know who I am. They know who Rick Farron is. So I don't know what's happening here. Well, we'll see what happens here. I'm going to try to, let's see what we can do here. Evidently, the meeting hasn't started yet, so we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. So that's what seems to be happening. Well, they're not letting me in, folks. I have to say this is something that's now going to have some serious attention. The state of New York, I'm going to have to probably contact the Attorney General and find out why they're not letting me in. They know who I am. It's a meeting on the Watchtower tonight, and they're making it very difficult. They didn't let me speak last time, and now when I signed up today to come into the meeting, and they're not allowing me to come in. So that is something that should be taken up. This is now a legal issue. I mean, I don't want to make a giant fuss out of it, but it is a public hearing, and I was told I could speak up tonight, but they're not letting me in. So why, I don't know. I've gone through the necessary procedures to get on Zoom, but just not let me come in. Yeah.
Is there someone you could call?
No, they're not letting me in. I mean, I'm doing everything here I can do, Susan. But
Well, what's weird is you have like a 60-second delay.
well, there's a delay, right? That would be a delay, yeah.
I'm just telling
Well,
you.
folks, I don't know what we're doing here. We cannot get into the meeting. They're not letting me in. They're not letting me into the meeting here in Ramapo, New York. Let me turn the camera around so I can talk with you guys on YouTube. Just give me a second here to get the camera adjusted. Okay, you can see me now, so let's go in here. So there we are. I am trying to get on, as you can see, but it's just not happening. They would not let me on the Zoom meeting. Let me just give everyone a little rundown here on what happened here today. As you know, I've been trying to fight against this mega media center that the Watchtower is building up in Ramapo, New York. It's about a mile away from their world headquarters in Warwick. And I've been in, I came into the Zoom meeting to voice my concerns on the Watchtower back in May of 2021. They wouldn't they wouldn't let me speak up. I came in, they gave me the floor, but as soon as I started talking about the Watchtower, they shut me right down. So now here we are trying to get in. Well, I came in back in March, about a month ago. I came into the Zoom meeting at Ramapo, but they wouldn't let me speak up then either. So they said, we have another meeting in April. Why don't you come in then? And then we'll let you speak up and voice your concerns on the media center the Watchtower's building. So that's exactly what I did today. I got a hold of the Ramapo town hall. I got the necessary links. I was told the procedures to come into Zoom. I followed all the procedures. I wrote them an email that I'll be coming in. That might have been my mistake. They told me to, be best to write an email, but they know who I am. They know who I am. They will not let me speak up. One of the times last May, actually going back to last May 2021, there was a Watchtower lawyer there, from what I understand. And he didn't want me to speak up at all because he knew that I had a lot to talk about, but he wouldn't let me speak up at all. But I'm still waiting. It's still churning here. You saw it. That's how we opened up the program tonight. But I'm really sorry, friends. I've been practicing all week. I had an awful lot to say. I wanted to let the residents of Ramapo and Orange County, New York, know of the seriousness of the Watchtower and what they have been doing, as according to news articles, not only in the paper, but also on television, and how they're hiding child molesters. All right, looks like we're coming in now. It looks like we are coming in now. Hold on one second, friends. We're still trying to get in here. They're just getting set up. Let me get the mics back here. Let me get the mic. Let me get this set up once again so you can at least see something. All right. It looks like we are getting in now. Well, we'll see what happens here. This is the Zoom meeting. They're just getting set up. They're about 16 minutes late, it looks like. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. Hopefully everything's working well. I hope everything is good. I hope my mic's working well. Well, they're having issues with their sound system. And for some reason, I'm not sure why they're not letting me in here. Well, let's see. Well, they came in late, very, very late. Can't hear a thing they're saying yet. I guess they're still trying to get settled here. Let's see what we got. Well, I hate to say it, they're still giving me trouble about coming in. And I'm not sure why. We'll see what happens here. We'll see why they don't have, I'm not sure why they've got everything muted so I can't even hear it. Well, folks, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm in here. I am in here. And for some reason, they're not letting me speak. Well, this is very, very annoying to me. Very, very annoying. For some reason, they're not letting me speak at all. They got me in. They let me in. I told them I was going to be a speaker, but nope. Well, I'm trying. You can see they have all of the sound blocked, even the moderator. Well, why we can't hear him, I'm not sure. Maybe they haven't started yet. I don't know. We'll give it a few more minutes here and see. But this is the Ramapo, New York building. Well, it's a hearing on the building of the Mega Media Center. And for some reason, like I say, they're not, I'm not sure what's happening, why they're not letting me in. I'm trying different things here to try to see if we can't get in. I have got into the meeting, and that's showing that I'm there. But for some reason, I don't know if the meeting hasn't started yet or actually what's happening. I can see all the town officials. They're all there. That man in the center, he's the head guy in all of Ramapo. That Michael Spanked, he's the head guy right there. So maybe they'll let me in here shortly. I don't know. I mean, if the meeting hasn't started yet, unless they're running late, but I'm not sure. That doesn't seem to be. I'm really not sure why I'm not. Well, I'm doing everything I can. I mean, I'm following all the instructions to get in. You can see I'm in, but they're not allowing me to speak up. So we'll just have to see. We'll give them a few more minutes. Everybody there is muted too. Every single person on the YouTube screen is muted. I mean, on the screen from Ramapo, New York town meeting, they're all muted. Evidently, there's a 0 flashing there. Maybe it means the meeting hasn't started yet. It's supposed to start at 7:00, but I mean, I'm here and I'm in the Zoom they know I'm going to speak up. I sent them an email ahead of time. I got the links. I got all the necessary passwords. Hang in with us. Let me see if I can't. Well, friends, I think we're going to have to abort our program here tonight. Well, hold on. I'm just going to change my camera. Yeah.
And we have some business that doesn't include the Watchtower for tonight. That
Oh,
they're
it's possible.
discussing,
Well,
and
that's,
they're not including.
well,
it.
that's possible too, Susan. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying we might
Yeah.
not be including.
Yeah. That's a possibility.
Because
Yeah.
they know you're there.
Yeah. That could be a possibility.
Just checking.
Thank you. Well, friends, we're going to have to, looks like we're going to have to let this one go. Getting no sound is our problem. Getting no sound is the problem. So we'll have to see what happens. Unless they're waiting, maybe they haven't turned anything on yet. It doesn't appear as though anyone's really speaking here. Just bear with us. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. So just doing everything we possibly can. Friends, we're just trying to get into the Zoom meeting up in Warwick, up in Ramapo, but for some reason we're not getting in there.
Recording in progress.
No, carries 0. We go to item 4, Ms. Lynn, we're going to
Right. The next item is a settlement of a claim. Eliezer Schmelzer. This is in the amount of $27.12 a town vehicle collided with some parked cars and they sustained damage, so we would be reimbursing them for their expenses.
Very good. Any questions from Ms. Slater? Motion. Ms. Slater, representative, we have liability here.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Then with a motion to approve the settlement, I think Mr. Charles, Mr. Secretary, all in favor, aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Carried 4-0. Item B.
This is the settlement of another claim. This is actually stemming from the same incident. The piece of equipment collided with 2 vehicles. So this is the second vehicle, and we would be paying their expenses in the amount of $3,064.85.
Okay, any questions? Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded, Councilman Beard, all in favor, aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Carries 4-0.
The next item is a settlement of a tax cert at 35 Oxford Boulevard. This is for the 2019-2020 tax year. They would be entitled to a refund in the sum of $59.80.
The motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded, Councilman Newman, all in favor, aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Carries 4-0. Item B.
This is the adoption of a seeker neg deck. The town is doing stabilization at the JTS Sports Center bubble to mitigate the erosion from the Ramapo riverbank. The board would need to classify this as an unlisted action, assume lead agency status, acknowledge that you've reviewed the Part 2 EAF, determined that there is no significant impact on the environment, and should the board choose, adopt the neg deck.
This is, we're doing work at the bubble, at the JKS Center, and
They're
doing.
just stabilizing. There's been some erosion from the Ramapo River, so they're essentially just stabilizing that riverbank so that there's no further erosion there.
We're doing it, it's our property, right?
We're doing it, right?
And we need to do a secret determination that will have, there'll be no,
Significant environmental impact.
very good. I'll call for a motion to approve the resolution, finding that, there'll be no, that the project impacts any will be minimal in nature. And is that adequate?
That's correct.
Well, adopt the negative declaration pursuant to secret. We have a motion that Supervisor Charles, second by Councilman Newman. Discussion. All in favor, aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That carries 4-0. Acres, and he's on.
Okay.
Right?
Good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is approval of the supervisor to sign a contract with the Village of New Hempstead to transfer just approximately 22 acres of land that New Hempstead will then be splitting a little bit for its village hall. 5 acres more or less will go to a school that's right adjacent to the property, and the remainder, approximately 16 acres, will be turned into an active park. As of now, this was deeded to the town in 1972 for general municipal purposes. As far as I can research with the help of the town assessor's office and the county clerk's office, is not parkland. It is the town's for general municipal purposes. And so we're actually converting most of the acreage, a large percentage of the acreage, into parkland that will be an active park for the residents of the village and the town, and frankly, the county to be able to use. And the vote tonight is pending a secret determination that will be voted on by the town board as well.
So I believe what's before us tonight would be to surplus the property, and then at a later meeting, we would do SEPA and a motion to enter into the contract of sale. Would that be correct?
That's correct, Mr. Supervisor.
Very good.
It's also subject to permissive referendum, if I could just throw that in there.
Correct, 30-day permissive referendum period. Well, let me just start with any questions to the board or any of our attorneys about this issue.
Just one question, Supervisor.
Sure.
When was the referendum, here or there?
The referendum would be, have to be, there have to be petitioned with a certain amount of signatures filed with the town of Ramapo, conducted by the town of Ramapo. We're the ones taking the action.
I see.
They're receiving the property, and this will be transferring it,
Okay.
surplus it inside. Any other questions, discussion? So we have a motion to declare the property surplus by Deputy Supervisor Charles, and then second by Councilman Nunu. Any discussion on the motion? Then we'll do we need a roll call or a surplus? Okay. Then, and again, this is only the motion to surplus the property, not to take any further action at this time. So we will do a roll call.
Councilman Whiteman, Councilman Canada? Deputy Supervisor Charles? Yes. Councilman Rutherford?
Yes.
Supervisor Smith?
Yes. So that carries by roll call vote of 4-0. And we will.
Mr. Supervisor, if I could, I just need to go back and correct one of the previous items. I forgot to mention on the settlement of the tax cert for 35 Oster Boulevard, there's actually 2 properties there. So the second property is for the 2019, 2020, and 2020, 2021 tax year. And there'd be a refund in those years for the total of $27.74.
$27. It's not the other refund. Even better.
That's less than the $59.80, yes.
We need a new resolution.
Yes.
Next meeting, we expect to see $13 refunds. Yeah. So I'll call for a motion to approve what seems to be a settlement that's pretty favorable for us. Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded Councilman Nunu. All in favor, aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone any abstentions? That too carries by a vote of 4-0. Let me just get back to the item E of the surplus property. So we've declared the property surplus. We'll take up the issue of the transfer at a later date, SEPA. And again, as Mr. Yeager pointed out in other words for the public, the determination by our council is that this is not parkland. This is property that was given to the town for municipal purposes, which would allow a sale without having to go through parkland alienation, which we are always mindful of. But thank you to council for the work on that. We'll move on to item F, development and land rights, 101 Route 06. Ms. Slater, are you familiar? Are you able to run that?
I'm not familiar with it, and there's no backup here. So if we could push that over maybe for the next.
Well, I'm familiar with it. I can describe it. Yeah, well, actually, Chief of Staff Montel is also working on it. Sure. I'm going to ask her if you could enlighten the board about it, and then I'll fill in some of the other issues.
Certainly, Mr. Supervisor, thank you very much. This is a project that we've been working on for quite some time. This is being recommended by our planning consultant as well as our engineering consultant, MJ. This is a property at a pivotal corner of the town, State Route 306 and Maple Avenue. And the town is acquiring a portion of this property in order to make a turning lane, as well as to make the intersection a little bit more, as they say, user-friendly. Appraisals were done. There was a difference in terms of the price that the appraisal came back at versus what the price that we will be paying. The reason for this is that we're hoping the board will determine that it's consistent with the appraisal, that the purchase price will be $200,000 in fair consideration for this conveyance, which will include restrictions on development of that property. The owner had the right and could have gone to the board to get additional units over there. He's agreed not to do it, again, so that we can make an extended turning lane and a right-hand turning lane.
You were listening to a town meeting up in Ramapo, New York. They're going to get to the Watchtower here shortly. Hopefully they'll let me speak up about it, but we got to kind of go through all these different objections they're bringing up and different legal notices they want to bring up to the public. So hopefully they'll let me in and talk about the Watchtower. So stay with us.
Today, and he confirmed with the appraiser that the value of the appraisal only represents the value for the land. It does not represent the diminished value to the applicant by waiving the right to build what could be up to 3 units, 3 accessory apartments. And instead is going to be limited to at most 2 units, 1 accessory apartment. Mr. Daly and the appraiser told me that they determined that, well, I don't want to give the number out in open session because it's inappropriate and could affect the negotiations. The number that we're paying is very favorable to the town because the value, if we do not have this restriction of development rights, the value of the property to the landowner could be substantially more than that. So we are getting a benefit by restricting development, safety development for that intersection as well. When do we expect the I'm not sure. We would certainly want to expedite that as soon as possible, but the first step obviously is to get the land and the approval. So, any questions for myself, Ms. Montel, or council about this? We have a motion. Motion by Deputy Supervisor Charles. Do we have a second? Second by Councilman Marino. Discussion on the motion. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That carries by vote of 4-0. Very good. So now we will move on to item 5, finance. We have Mr. Lynch, our finance director.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Let me just say thank you, Ms. Slater. I think we're done with your agenda for tonight.
We actually have one item under new business.
We do. All
You
right.
have to waive the 24-hour rule for that.
Mr. Lynch will ask you to waive. Do we need to waive our 24-hour?
Yes,
So why don't
yes.
we waive our 24-hour rule in this meeting? Anybody wish to make that motion? Councilman Ludo makes a motion. Deputy Supervisor Charles seconds it. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Carried 4-0. We're going to move all the way down to item 9, new business.
So this is the settlement of another tax cert. It's 57 MG.
The town here is going through all of their financial orders and positions, and hopefully after this, they're going to bring up the Watchtower, and that's when I can come in and voice my concerns. So let's see what happens. Just stay with us. We're tuned into, this is a town meeting in Ramapo, New York. And this is Rick Farron at the 6 Screens, getting ready to come in and voice our concerns. We're going to let them know. We're going to give them a whole mouthful. So let's see what happens.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Carried 4-0. And now I think you're done.
Thank you.
You have a great night. We'll go back to the agenda order. We'll go to 5, back to Mr. Lynch for finance.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So these 2 items are technical amendments to our 2022 budget, both for good reason. The first one is to take recognition of the fact that we've received a grant to adopt a canine, thanks to the efforts of the police department. It's $7,500, and we would update the budget to reflect that receipt and to earmark the money for that purpose.
Sounds like good news. We have a motion to approve by Deputy Supervisor Charles, second by Councilman Marino. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? That carries 4-0.
The next item is a very similar item, which is in this case for the Justice Court. Again, this was as a result of the efforts of the Justice Court staff. The amount is $10,322. We would recognize the receipt of the funds in our budget and earmark the money for this purpose.
Very good. We have a motion to approve by Deputy Supervisor Charles, second by Councilman Marino. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Very good. Carries 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Lynch. We'll go down to 6, purchasing director Montal.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We're asking you to accept the bid of, to connect the existing train condensing unit to the new Hastings units on the bubble, as listed in the resolution.
Any questions for Ms. Montal about this item? We have a motion to approve by Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded by Councilman Newman. All in favor, aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Carried 4-0. Item B.
We're asking you to extend the agreement for bituminous concrete furnished and applied, as listed in your resolution.
Questions? What is this doing?
That's putting down the road, the
Oh.
bituminous is for roads.
We have a motion by Deputy Supervisor Charles to approve, seconded Councilman Newman, and all in favor, aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Carried 4-0. Item C.
This item is in reference to extending the agreement for the maintenance of the elevators at the JTS Center. It's as listed in the resolution. Mr. Supervisor, let me just say, a lot of these items we do for 2 years, and then we extend it as we're allowed to under the law.
Of course. Same price.
Yes.
No. Do we have a motion?
That's why I didn't say it.
Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded Councilman Menino. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Carried 4-0. We hereby approve the agreement with the ThyssenKrupp Elevator Corporation. Go to item B.
So, Mr. Supervisor, this item is in reference to what our esteemed trustee from the village of Chestnut Ridge has spoken about. However, Mr. Supervisor, I have additional.
Now, some of these meetings, as you can see, are boring, but we're going to get to the Watchtower here soon, and I'm all ready to go. I got the video set up. I got the sound set up, so we should be able to get in there and hopefully voice our concerns on why we don't want Watchtower building a mega movie studio up in Ramapo, New York. So stay with us.
It is
Yes.
a community block development grant. They're congratulating us once again on our successful application, which had 5 items on it. I'll be happy to share those. I think it's 4 items, which I will be happy to share that the Community Outreach Center will be receiving $100,000 for a senior center van. The Good Samaritan Hospital will be receiving $1.5 million towards enhancing their mother-baby unit. That the Tomachei Shabbos will be receiving $100,000 for food services that they gave. And Ramapo, town of Ramapo will be receiving for Weldler Park $550,000 for parks equipment, as was designed by this team that our our trustee had mentioned to you. So I'm asking you to accept in a very timely fashion the quote for the Weldler Park playground from Game Time, and for an additional amount from Pat Corsetti, as listed in the resolution.
Thank you very much, Ms. Montal. That's very good news. We were waiting for that notification, and we were very good timing that came tonight.
And I just, one more thing, if I could thank my team that worked with me very diligently on this, and in case I forget, forgive me, but Sandy House from our clerk's office, Ed Moran from our DPW department, and Loretta Furlong from our finance department, and our attorney's office, and everybody else who helped participate in doing this. The state actually gave us an extra $250,000 because they felt that both the hospital and the playground were so important.
Thank you so much, Ms. Montal. Thank you to your entire team that did excellent work, and thank you to you for spearheading that effort and getting this great result for us.
Thank you.
It's going to be good for the people of the town and the organizations that do good work throughout the town, as well as our folks. Any questions at this time?
Okay.
We'll take the money. We'll take the cash.
And you're also authorizing the supervisor to sign the agreement, Mr. Supervisor, while we're at it.
Exactly. So we have a motion by Deputy Supervisor Charles to accept the proposal quote for the local park playground upgrades. Seconded, Councilman Newman. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? Carried 4-0. And now we go on to, while we're on the topic of parks, we'll go on to item E. So since we did.
Thank you.
Work it so.
Supervisor, as you know, Councilman Wanudo brought it to our attention a couple of years ago that we needed to work on this particular project. We worked with, again, our trustee here from the village of Chestnut Ridge, where we came up with a design. I think in the freezing and in the hot weather, we were trying to get things accomplished for this particular facility. And I'm pleased to bring before you the bid of Gia Corp to move forward with our fence and landscaping project in the amount of $88,499.
Any questions from Ms. Montero about this item? Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, second by Councilman Winu. Discussion. I want to add my thanks to Councilman Winu and Trustee Rose for their very active and well thought out work and effort in this, and I think this is the part we're all going to be proud of. So call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Carried 4-0. I just want to also say that, and I've mentioned this on the radio and other places over the past several weeks, we are embarking on a plan to upgrade all of our park facilities, enhance our recreational facilities throughout the town. We know there's a tremendous need for playgrounds, for parks, for recreation for the town, and this is just the beginning. This is a very good start. Very proud of this town for making this effort and this board, and I want to thank everybody who's been involved in this effort, and we're going to keep going strong with it. So thank you all, and we're going to see results very soon. We'll move on now. We'll stay with Ms. Montero as we go into item 8, personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We're asking for you to appoint Claudia, and I'm not going to get it right, MENJITAR, as a provisionary office services aide. She's currently in the Justice Court, and you know, our Justice Court clerk has recommended it, an annual salary of $44,481, and I'd like you to approve. We'd like the board to approve.
Great. Any questions? Motion by Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded Councilor Ryu. Discussion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? We're very proud to state that by a vote of 4-0, we hereby appoint Claudia Mendovar as probationary officer today. And I would say welcome aboard. We're already on board with us, but congratulations on this appointment. And I know you'll be successful in this position. If you were here, we would certainly shake your hand. So we will virtually appoint. Thank you. And then we have B. Yep. Appointment of a permanent police officer.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We're at now again. I'm very bad with names. Linda Condon had 30 years or whatever to do it, and I'm not. And we're asking you to previously appointed as a temporary police officer. We're asking you to make this appointment permanent. McAntoine Morissette, as listed in the resolution.
We have Chief Riley here. I'm going to ask Chief, is there anything you wish to say about the proposed appointment of McAntoine Morissette?
Basically, he was temporarily, he was officially cleared by personnel. He's in the police academy right now with speed, and we're supposed to have one for this.
Very good. Call for a motion to approve. Motion, Councilman Winu, second by Supervisor Charles. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? By a vote of 4-0, we're proud to appoint McAntoine Morissette as a permanent probationary police officer. And again, congratulations and welcome to the Ramapo Police Department, Ramapo, and what we consider to be the Ramapo family. We're very happy to have you aboard. And we're going to item C.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'm asking that we appoint Andrea Caloris as a data entry operator. She's currently working for us. We're very proud that she was able to score on the test. Actually, she's probationary data entry operator, and we're asking that you appoint her to this position.
I'm just going to add that I know everyone that works with Andrea Caloris in the building department has nothing but praise for her. She's a very bright, energetic, dedicated worker and an asset to the building department. Call for a motion to approve. Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded by Councilman Winu. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Proud to say that by a vote of 4-0, we appoint Andrew Flores as probationary data entry operator. Congratulations and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Ms. Sorry.
Oh, no, then you too.
Yes, thank you. I know you weren't talking to me. Okay.
But it applies.
Yeah, yes, yes. 7D, Mr. Supervisor. As has come to the attention of the town via the town attorney's office, one of the areas in which we are sorely lacking and in need of servicing our public is in our justice court and our DA's position, or ADA, whatever it would be. We need somebody to work on in our attorney's office, because our assistant town, our attorney, Elissa Slater, has taken on more and more responsibility, and the other attorneys on board can't practice within the justice court. We were honored and pleased to hear that Veronica Phillips, who many of us have known for quite some time, many years, that she's done an outstanding job in the district attorney's office, and we're going to be pleased to have her come on full-time here, effective May 16th, 2022, at an annual salary of $120,000, and she serves at the pleasure of the board, subject to a 30-day termination. Mr. Supervisor, I'm strongly recommending that we move forward with this position in order to best effectively serve the public.
I'm going to join in your recommendation. As everyone knows, I worked a couple of years in the county attorney's office. I have very strong feelings about the needs of that office, and I think Ms. Phillips will fit in very well here. Will provide a good set of skills and experience to take some of that. She's currently a senior assistant district attorney in Ramapo County DA's office. She handles the special victims cases, so she's tried felony cases. She can certainly handle traffic court and our justice court cases. She's very capable. She has a sterling reputation in the legal community in Ramapo County, defense attorneys and prosecutors. I dealt with her in the past when she was when I was still practicing law before a supervisor. It was always very ethical and honorable dealings with her, and she's very a very diligent and dedicated advocate, and I think we're lucky to get her. I think Ms. Slater had a chance to interview her, and if you can tell us your thoughts about her.
We're very excited to have her join the attorney's office. I think she's going to make a great addition, and I look forward to working with her.
Very good. Any questions for myself, Ms. Montello, and Ms. Slater about Ms. Phillips? We have a motion to approve by Deputy Supervisor Charles. We have a second. Second by Councilman Nunu. All in favor, aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? By a vote of 4-0, we're proud to appoint Veronica Phillips as Assistant County Attorney effective May 16th, and welcome aboard. And we look forward to having you on our team. Very good. Thank you, Ms. Montel. Do you have any other items?
I can just continue with the rest of them if you'd like. You can do them?
Sure, let's do that. Although maybe we can have the chief do.
Does he have
we
paperwork with
four
him?
chief, four police ones. Why don't
Okay.
we let, if the chief wants you to do those, or if you do them?
Sure, fine. I just want to acknowledge regarding the K-9 grant. Want to thank Andre Sanchez, Sergeant Sanchez, who worked on that. This is rookie retired, wants to work on obtaining the grant for my program.
That's great. Give them our thanks.
The first item is the authorization for 2 officers to attend crash reconstruction course. This for Officer O'Connor and Officer Data. They're going through our accident investigation training. This will be a crash reconstruction course in Risky, New York, from May 9th to May 20th, and cost not to exceed $4,000.
Questions for the chief? Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, second, Councilman Nunu. All in favor, aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? Carried 4-0.
Next item is for authorization for Officer Burr and Officer Milovich to attend street crimes training in West Nyack for a cost not to exceed $900,000.
Any questions for the chief? Motion by Deputy Supervisor Charles, second by Councilman Nunu. All in favor, aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Carried 4-0.
Next item is for authorization for Sergeant Carbone and Officer Levina to attend the International Police Mountain Bike Training in June of this year in Dayton, Ohio, for a cost not to exceed $4,500.
Questions for Chief Riley? Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded, Councilman Marino, all in favor, aye. Opposed, abstentions, carried 4-0. Go to item D.
And the last one is authorization by Sullivan and Captain Planet to attend the New York State Chief of Police Annual Training Conference in Glen Falls for a cost not to exceed $25,000.
We have a motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, seconded, Councilman Marino.
Hopefully they'll be soon done with this financial part of the meeting, and then they can get into taking questions on the Watchtower. So let's just wait and see what happens. I can't share the screen, so they won't let me do that. So that's why I have this. I got it rigged up, so at least you'll see something. But stay with us. We're gonna try to get in there tonight. Hang in.
On the equitable business opportunities to streamline the process to satisfy our Title VI civil rights reporting requirements. I've been doing.
If you want to leave, I'm going to put up tomorrow. This is live streaming now, but I'll put up tomorrow where I do come in, so you don't miss anything. So if you can't stay in, because I don't know how much longer it's going to be, but I'll put up at what minutes and how many seconds in tomorrow on YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to leave, you'll be able to catch up with it tomorrow. So go ahead and do what you please.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Carried 4-0.
Michael, I just got a compliment. I don't know if you're going to supervise.
Be heard. And then we'll go to item F, authorization for the assessor to attend the Cornell seminar and appraisal.
Mr. Supervisor, we're asking that we allow Mr. Shedler and one of the to be determined assessor department employees to go to the Cornell seminar on appraising with this cost not to exceed $5,000. Mr. Supervisor, both this school and all of the ones that the chief spoke to you about are all in our budget in our schools and seminars line for the public's awareness.
Very good. I'll just also point out that the cost of up to $5,000 at Cornell is about 1/15 of what they're billing me tuition for my daughter who can't say. They're telling us switch to the appraising school.
That's one
motion.
week, Mr. Supervisor.
Motion, Deputy Supervisor Charles, second, Councilman Marino, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Carried 4-0.
Blood pressure.
It only goes up. No. Well, we did our new business item, so I think somebody on the board has anything to add. I think we were ready for a motion to adjourn. We did that. Yeah, we jumped to that. Right. There was the waiver, which is the order on the case of the representatives. Okay. Very good. Motion by Deputy Supervisor Charles, second by Councilman Marino. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Does not want to adjourn. Anyone abstaining? Carried 4-0. We're adjourned. I want to thank everybody. Thank the board for a very good meeting.
Recording stopped.
Well, I'm not sure what happened there. They were to speak about the Watchtower, unless they're coming in later. That's what was on the agenda, folks. They were to speak about the Watchtower, and then all of a sudden the meeting just ended. I don't know if they're going to pick it back up again or what. But I called the town office today. They told me that that meeting would be tonight. Come in, you'll be able to voice your concerns. Also, the Watchtower was to be there too, trying to get some zoning rights. So I'm not sure what happened here, folks. I really don't know. I'm kind of disappointed. And you guys must be disappointed too, hanging in all this time. But I wanted to give them a mouthful. I was on this. Well, let me get my camera in front here so we can talk a little bit to you. Let me move this around. I had to kind of play around a little bit with everything because of the way this was going. They wouldn't let me come in and do a screen share, so we had to kind of finagle it on two different computers here. But anyways, here I am, and I wanted to get in there. I was ready to go. I had everything all, I had my notes all together, and I was in the meeting, the Zoom meeting last May 2021. I came in, they wouldn't let me speak up. I couldn't even get to first base. I wanted to tell the residents, I wanted to warn them, alert them to who their neighbors were going to be. And that, of course, was going to be the Watchtower. And it's a dangerous cult. Now, I was going to go careful. I wasn't going to call them a dangerous cult. But I said that, your neighbors, you have to know who they are. They're involved right now in a number of cases hiding child molesters and pedophilia in the organization. And they wouldn't let me get that out last time. So, no, we can't talk about that now. And so they dismissed me. And then I came back in just a month ago, which would have been in March. And I spoke up then, the same thing. They shut me down. Nope, we can't talk about that now. And, Watchtower personnel was there. I do believe some lawyers as well. So they shut me down. I couldn't get to first base, but they told me to come in now, tonight. And they would give me time to at least bring some things up concerning the Watchtower, but they shot me down again. So I don't know, folks. I don't really know at what point I'm just going to roll over and let it go. I believe when you have a hearing, a public hearing, and it's advertised in the newspaper, which I actually have the hard copy of the newspaper, that you have a right to come in. And they told me that today. I talked to the town clerk, and she said, oh, absolutely, you have the right to come in and voice your opinion, and we'll bring you in. So I'm not sure what happened. I mean, I was right there in the beginning, but they weren't in any way entertaining me. I seem to be muted. I don't believe it was on my part. I mean, the video at least open, but even if the volume wasn't up enough, at least they could have put me on video, and then I would have made some adjustments. So I'm not sure what's going on up there, but let me tell you something. These small little towns, and all of a sudden you get a big, giant corporation like the Watchtower. I mean, even though they're not big and giant, but they think they are. But so you get them coming into a small town. I'm not going to go on the record to say that people are being paid off, but it's kind of ironic that, nobody could speak up concerning the Watchtower and the evils that they're involved in. And, I'm even concerned because the last time back in May, when I came in to speak up, there was one other ex-witness that came in after me, and they shut him down too. But why can't we voice our opinion in a public meeting and let the residents know? I have relatives up there. I go up there. I have relatives that live in the area. And what's going to happen? You already have the world headquarters in Warwick. That's just a mile away from where they're building this mega media center. And I'm thinking that the witnesses have no idea what they're doing. You give people an inch, they're going to take a mile. And not only that, the world is finding out exactly how heinous and corrupt the Watchtower is, right? They're seeing it on all of these documentary programs, the Atlantic magazine talking about that secret database with perhaps tens of thousands of pedophiles. So the world is catching up, and they're knowing who Jehovah's Witnesses are. So I thought the residents would at least want to know that. But evidently the town of Ramapo, they don't want the people to know it. And so, people are going to go up there. It's a beautiful area. They're going to go up there and camp. And the first thing that's going to come to their mind, especially if they have children, because people are knowing what the Watchtower is hiding behind. How do you miss it? So I'll tell you what, if they continue to let Warwick in that Ramapo, Orange County area of New York continue to build these complexes and expand their organization, I mean, this is now the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. We know that. And it's going to get a reputation. It's going to get a reputation of it could be called, I mean, I'm not saying it in a sardonic way, but it could be called the pedophile capital of the world if they keep this up. Would you like to live in the pedophile capital of the world? I certainly wouldn't. But, the residents should have at least had some knowledge of this. Now, let me tell you something. The Watchtower is an evil organization. You guys all know it. But the residents don't know it. Now, in 2017, if you remember, we had a large protest up at the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses in front of their headquarters in Warwick. And we spent the whole weekend up there. And we actually were going, some of us would go door to door, others wouldn't. There was about 52 of us, but only about 5 of us said, look, we'll go door to door. I want to warn the people in Warwick about the Watchtower. So I went door to door with some pamphlets, and people thought I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but I told them, no, I'm an ex-witness. But I wanted to let them know that they had a very dangerous organization in their backyard. They had no clue. They just thought the witnesses were just another Christian religion and nice, peaceful people. But I gave them all a mouthful. And I told them these people are dangerous. They're covering up pedophilia. So I knocked on a number of doors, and we had some other people doing it as well. But most of the people, in fact, some of the people didn't even know who the Watchtower was. But here we have now in Ramapo, New York, the Watchtower building a giant mega media studio. This is huge. It's not some small time studio. There's going to be 1,000 people, upwards, I guess, of 1,500 people that will be working there. They're building dormitories. They're gonna be producing these videos. This is their last chance of survival. This is very important to the Watchtower. They're all ways of doing business. They're ways of going door to door, knocking all over doors all over the territory. The days of them wheeling out their little cart and setting it up and getting people to come visit them, it's not working anymore. They had to rebrand. And their last hope is this mega media center where they can produce all these videos. And the videos they produce, they're not too bad. They do a pretty good job with it. But the only thing is they're not telling the truth. They're not telling you how evil they are. Now, here's my thoughts on this. They start sending out some of these videos around the world and live streaming, Caleb and Sophia. Those videos, they teach kids. I hate to say it, but, they try to teach kids the good, the pure, and the positive. And so, mothers that have no idea who the Jehovah's Witnesses are, they're going to be having their kids watch Sophia and Caleb. And, it's going to distort their thinking. Before you know it, the mother's going to be going, oh, isn't the Watchtower nice? Well, it's the same thing they did to us, right? Love bombing us in another way. We never realized how evil they really were until we got in there. But this is their last shot, friends, I'm telling you. And so far, it hasn't been totally approved yet. It looks like it's going to go through, but it hasn't been totally approved yet. So I figured I'd try to give it a shot. And I'm not done yet. I'm going to call the Ramapo office tomorrow, the building department, and say, what happened? I came in. Why didn't you let me talk? Why, what happened? It was supposed to be an open meeting. So I'm going to find out tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know exactly what happened. And we'll be able to get to the root of this. But if they deliberately stop me after 3 times, and man, I've been preparing and getting all hyped up and getting all ready to do this. This is meaningful to me. And it's meaningful to the ex-witness community. I at least wanted to have a voice. But it's very disappointing that, they don't let you in. Now, unless there's some oddball mistake that I made or they made, I'm not sure. I'll have to find out tomorrow. But I was in there in plenty of time. I had all the necessary passwords. I was in the meeting. So I just don't know what happened, but I will know tomorrow. But friends, like I say, this is their last chance to really survive. They got to get this mega media center built. And it does look like it's going to go through. But, I wish we had the phone lines on because I'm sure there's many things you guys would like to say. But we'll talk more about this Saturday night on the 6 screens, JW World News. You know we do it every Saturday night. So by all means, why don't you try to join us this Saturday night? And I think you'll find it very, very fascinating. Well, I guess that's it for me. I don't know what else I can say. Let me just take a look at a few comments here. Well, let's see. I bet the meeting is still going. They were always done in the darkness. Well, you got something to that story exit, because I'll tell you what, They do a lot of things in darkness, but we'll just have to see what goes on here. I was even thinking, if they do have one more hearing, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it through Zoom, and there's going to be some more hearings on this. I'm going to get in my car, and I'm going to take some of my protest signs, and I'm heading up to Ramapo, New York. It's about 200 miles from where I live, but I'm going to pack those signs in the car. I'm going to find out what day they're going to have it, and I'm going to go up there in person. That's the best thing to do. Forget this Zoom. They can cut you off. They can do whatever they want. But I'm going to go up there in person, and I'll spend the whole day. I'll hang those signs on the side of my van, and I'll drive around with it, and I'll let everybody know how heinous and evil the Watchtower is, and tell them to stop the media center. Stop the media center. So I'm going to find out when the next hearing is, and forget Zoom. I'm not going to come in Zoom. No more. That's it. I've had it with that. I'm going to drive up there and do it myself. There's nothing. Hey, look, the internet's nice. Zoom is nice, but nothing beats in person. So if there's anybody up in that Warwick area and you'd like to go into the town hall meeting with me when they have the next one, and you'd like to hold some banners and let the people in town know who the Watchtower is, why don't you write me at jwworldnews@gmail.com, and we'll do it in person. And if you live in that area, you can meet me up there, and we'll give them a mouthful, and we'll spend a day just holding these banners up, letting the residents know what's going on behind the curtains of the Watchtower. I'm ticked. I really am. I'm disappointed. I like doing this. I really do. I like protesting. See, these guys are evil. These guys are very, very evil. They really deserve to have someone come out and chastise them. They really, really do. And I know all of you ex-witnesses, you're doing everything we can. We're on the internet. We're doing podcasts. We're doing YouTube videos. So we got to keep that up. We got to keep it up because it is working. We are getting some points on the scoreboard, folks. Yes, the Watchtower's in trouble right now in a lot of countries. We know that. Many countries now are coming down on the Watchtower. It's not just, apostates, mentally diseased apostates. There's more that is coming against the Watchtower than us. We've got nations, countries coming against the Watchtower, like Norway, for example. We talked about it last Saturday night. They're pulling the funding on the Watchtower. They're not happy with the Watchtower. They're not happy how they shun people and how young kids are kicked out of their house if they don't want to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Same thing is going on in Belgium. They're really upset with the witnesses in Belgium. They're doing the same thing. They don't like all the covering up of child abuse. Sweden now Sweden is looking into the witnesses. See, all of a sudden you get a couple of nations, couple of countries that start investigating the witnesses, and the news spreads. So if there's anything we can all be happy for here tonight, even though I didn't get my shot at the Zoom meeting, if there's anything we can all be happy for here tonight, is yes, there are inroads taking place, and the Watchtower is in free fall. And I'm not looking through rose-colored glasses either. We are counting down the last days of the Watchtower. When you have countries that are now fighting forces with us, there are allies exposing the Watchtower. That's a good thing. Well, I really appreciate y'all coming in. And we appreciate all the efforts of everybody out there that's doing everything they can. All you folks that have YouTube videos, Facebook groups that you're talking about the witness, you just keep that all up. Don't ever give up doing that. You just keep doing that. And I put a shout out to all those people, everyone. You guys listening in here tonight and commenting, you're also activists. Let's all remain activists, and let's all continue to expose the evils of the Watchtower. Well, listen, I'm going to cut you all loose, but I thank you for coming in. I know it's disappointing, but I'll have more information Saturday night. I'm going to call the town office tomorrow, so I'll let you know what's going on. You guys all have a good night, and I'm so proud. I am so proud to be an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and I'm so proud that there are still so many people that want to expose this dangerous and destructive cult. Good night, everyone.